welcome back to the Nexus. I'm your host, Azrael, and I am joined by our awesome, always awesome director, CR, also known as the Disembodied Hand. So we are back today with another episode of the Everyday Dungeoneer, and we have got a really interesting guest on for today. Her name is Beth Johnson, but you guys probably know her as DayDragon. And she has some really, really interesting stories to tell. So we're gonna bring her on, and I'm wondering if she's got some interesting characters for me. So Beth, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. No, we're happy. No, we're happy to have you. So I gotta ask, obviously, what is your class and alignment?
My class and alignment. Are you talking about a D&D thing? Because I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I have never in my life ever played D&D.
Really?
So, yeah.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Everybody's got their alignment. Like I think I'm a neutral good character.
Okay.
So I'm neutral in how I do things, but I like to do the good. I lean towards the good. Obviously, CR is chaotic evil. No, lawful evil. He says he's chaotic good. He's definitely lawful evil. He is a supervillain, and we all know it. Just saying.
So. I probably would be considered more I don't know, lawful good, probably.
Lawful good? Perfect. Yeah. So like a paladin or
like probably. Yeah, probably. If I had to pick anything.
Very cool. Okay. So we are going to have a little conversation for the first 60 minutes, and I'm going to be doing a low poly mini challenge. So do you have a character that you'd like to see me sculpt?
Oh Jesus. Do I have characters? God. What kind of character do you want? Do you want anything? Like
anything you'd like to see?
Oh God, you could give a try to my character Remiel. Yeah, Remiel is a half fae character. They're fairly recent.
Okay.
They're able to wield magic, but they don't really know that very much at the beginning.
Okay.
And they're basically just trying to seek out their past, like find out like what Fae are all about, and you know who they are in the grand scheme of things. So
okay,
you know.
Well, what does she look like?
Remiel, they're actually a non-binary character.
Oh, really?
They're my first non-binary character.
Oh, very cool.
They are about 6 feet tall.
Okay.
They have long silver and purple hair.
Okay.
It's shaved on both sides, but it's usually kept kind of flopped over to one side.
Okay.
And they always carry with them, some sort of like pouches on their sides. They've got purple eyes that glow. They've got these really cool like sigils on their hands that they always keep hidden by gloves because, well, we don't want anybody to know that we're Fae.
Oh, very cool.
Not just yet. So,
well, CR has actually pulled up a couple of images of this character that.
Oh, all right.
These are awesome. Yeah, I would love to do a version of this character. Can you go up to? Yeah, that would be perfect. If you open up landingpad.me, you can put that in there as a reference. Landingpad.me, it's in here. No, it's that. It's this guy right here. Yeah, and if you put it into reference images, just upload it into that, and sweet. Awesome. All right, so it looks like we've got I've got a reference image to go off of, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I have to ask.
Yeah.
Who is the possum?
Oh. Okay, that's a whole thing. So my good friend,
Okay.
Song of Sixpence and I are actually writing a whole like novel based around the shenanigans that Remy here has gotten themselves into, and
Okay.
Faye is affectionately posting Lucy. Lucy, short for Lucifer. Um,
Okay. Okay.
Remy,
Beautiful.
because they wanted to know about their past and about the Fae and whatnot, and they have these magical inclinations, they decided they were going to summon a spirit. They're not that experienced with magic, so they got a few of the sigils wrong on the summoning circle and accidentally summoned the mother of all demons.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah, and she was promptly yoked into the body of this trash beast, who is now bound to Remy as their familiar, and Lucy into a dang possum. And the reason that she was pulled into this body is because when she's walking about the nine hills, she kind of has that sort of form of not necessarily a possum, but this great gigantic beast that carries her children on a back, much in the way a possum would carry their own babies on its back. So she was thrown into the first thing that was, I guess, familiar
Right.
to her, and now she's stuck with Remy and kind of hates it and hates
I can
everything about
imagine.
it, and is constantly screaming for her children to come out of hell to bring her back.
That
Um,
is
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
That is
So
absolutely beautiful.
the entire story has been affectionately dubbed "Put that thing back where it came from," or "So help me." But we don't want to get sued by Disney, so we can't call it that.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and jump into VR here. I'm gonna get Gravity Sketch set up, and then I can pull up your reference image, and then we will get a 60-minute timer started. And then at the end of that 60 minutes, you as our guest, you get to tell me whether or not I have successfully translated your character into a low poly model.
Excellent.
And it's on me to make sure that I make you happy, because you, as the guest, have the power to punish me if I have not met your standards.
I mean, I'm okay with punishing people.
We are very weird people.
No,
So
I'm okay with punishing people. So I don't know.
I can imagine. I mean, as a kindergarten teacher, you got to be right.
Uh,
No,
that,
that's not the case at all.
no, no, I'd never do anything like that. Of
Oh God,
course not.
yeah. All right. So, speaking of that, you currently are a kindergarten teacher. That PC disconnected. Um, the entire point of the Everyday Dungeoneer is to talk to people about how creativity has affected them in their lives and in their work. And I can imagine being a kindergarten teacher. God, you have to be creative.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I have a little thing I like to say: if you don't plan your day, they're gonna plan it for you, and boy, they
Hmm.
absolutely will do that. If you are not ready, even sometimes even when you are ready,
Hmm.
they still will just do what they will because children often do that.
Of course. Yeah, for some reason it's not wanting to connect to the PC. So I am. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So I understand that you started your career as a teacher, and then you made a rather interesting shift.
Yeah, I did.
That
Um,
do you want to expand on that a little bit? Because that is probably one of the most interesting shifts in
yeah,
career that I've ever seen.
yeah, it is, and it's not something I ever thought I would do. Um, I, Straight out of high school, I got into teaching small kids. I got certified um, pretty early on, and I did that for about 14 years. And I finally got to the point where I was like, okay, I gotta leave this type of work, or else I'm never ever gonna do what I really want to do, which was to teach art.
Mhm.
Um, so in order to be able to do that, I had to quit that job and go back to school. And really, kind of what it came down to was every year I kept getting attached to the group of kids
Right.
that would come in, and I couldn't let myself do that again. And so in 2015, I left to go back to school and finish up my degree. I finished an associate's, um, but then I really needed work.
Hmm.
And with an associate's here, you can get like jobs in a school district. Well, I was unable to find a job in a school district, and I needed work,
Right.
like really badly. I needed work because I had quit my job to go back to school full time, um, and that was a hell year, um, but I did it, and couldn't find work in a district.
Hmm.
And my husband, who's paramedic, said to me, "Well, why don't you go back to school?" Which I didn't like. The only thing I wanted to go to school for was to, be a teacher.
Hmm.
Um, but I needed a job. I needed a stable job that would allow me to go to school and not have to do that sort of like shift around you know, in scheduling and stuff like that. And I pitched a fit about it. I did not want to do it. I
Hmm.
didn't want to like just the horror stories that I'd heard from him on the job. So it was like, no, I didn't want to do it, but I did it because really what it came down to was not some noble cause of, oh, I want to save lives and get out there and save lives. And it's going to sound kind of terrible saying it like that, but really, I just need a stable work, and I
Right.
knew that the EMS was always going to provide that.
Yeah.
Um, and I knew this is going to get real dark real quick, so I apologize.
It's
Uh,
okay.
I knew that I would be able to do that job when my very first patient ever was a small child,
Yep.
and I lost him. I lost him doing CPR. Um, and that was an interesting day because it it showed me that I could keep my cool under extreme duress.
Right.
And that was, I kept my cool until I got home, and then, just had a lot to drink that night. But anyways, I I finished EMS school. Um, I went to work as an EMT. I got a job immediately, which was great, um, with a company that I really liked, and I ended up doing that for about 3 years until I got injured on the job.
Oh boy.
um, I was taking a patient upstairs and twisted my knee, and um, yeah, that was the end of my time in EMS because I never went back. Ended up having knee surgery and all that.
Hmm.
Um, but because it was an on the job injury, it was under workers' comp and all this other
Right.
stuff. But then when my benefits ran out with workers' comp, I ended up needing a job again. And I knew that I had left the teaching job on good terms. So I went back to them immediately and I said, "Hey, so will you take me back?" And they did. And I was the last person they hired before COVID hit. So there's that.
Wow.
Um, so here I am, and I stream doing, work stuff, and honestly, like really, what I want to do is art and teach other people to love art because I was very fortunate when I went to school because I had so many good experiences with art teachers. I hear so many bad things about people and the art teachers that they have encountered,
Right.
and I wanted to make that not be the case for people when they come to see me in my art class. So that's where we're at. That's how I went from teacher to EMT back to teacher and going back to school so I can teach bigger kids. And there's that.
That is really, really cool. We talked a little bit before we went live. I have just a
Mhm,
little bit of experience as a teacher when I was
mhm,
up in Hawaii.
mhm,
Wasn't actually paid for it. It was all volunteer work. Um, but it was one of the most fulfilling things that I'd ever done.
mhm.
Um, I was super, super proud to say, and I had nothing to do with this. This was all
Mhm.
them. But they actually went to the World Championships
Oh,
in
nice.
Anaheim, California,
Awesome.
and they placed really, really, really high. I was just, God, kids are kids are insane.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
they really are.
yeah, but it was amazing to watch the ingenuity that these kids had. I mean,
Mhm,
our we had a programmer. Um, can't remember Rachel Rideout. That was her name,
mhm,
and one of the smartest people I've ever met. And I do not mean for her age.
mhm,
She
mhm.
was. I mean, this was a girl who, from what I understand, she had a acceptance letter to Carnegie Mellon, and she hadn't even graduated
Nice.
high school yet.
Wow.
Like she had a full academic ride to MIT. I mean, it was one of the smartest people I ever met, and it was awesome watching those kids be able to do what they did. You know,
Yeah, absolutely. It's always
so
pretty amazing to see, like, the knowledge that you've given them in addition to the smarts that they already have, and watching those kind of blossom into something like that and
mhm.
see them take it to that level where they're utilizing those skills. So,
Yeah, it's very fulfilling. You know, it's an awesome feeling. So
yeah, absolutely.
when it came to being an EMT,
Mhm.
uh, I can imagine that that probably had its own fulfilling moments, but in a very
Um,
different way, right?
yeah, yeah, it did. Like I said, the first, like, as stressful and as sad as the first patient was, like,
Hmm.
it was fulfilling to know that I'd done my job, that I'd
Right.
done everything that I possibly could do.
Hmm.
Um, and a lot of what I did in EMS was I took hospice patients home to die.
Right.
Um, and I often um, got referred to as this angel of death, almost this angel, this merciful angel of death, because I often took patients who were scared
Hmm.
and terrified, and you know it was always kind of good to be able to encourage them in their ride and their short time with me. You have to
Hmm.
be able to build up that sort of rapport
Right.
with a patient very, very quickly, and just basically kind of encourage them to, like, hold on until
Yeah.
they got home so their families could say goodbye.
Hmm.
And so in that way, you sort of become this advocate for the patients. And um, when other people don't, when nurses are tired of dealing with them, or
Yeah.
even their own like many times I would go, there would be no family for these people who were dying, and it just yeah, yeah. Really, it was fulfilling,
Hmm.
and it did make me really sad to not be able to go back to that, especially when it was something I never thought I would do. I didn't want to do. I only did it because, well, I did it for the money. Honestly, it was
Right.
decent money for good hours, You know, who's going to say no to that?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, yeah, that's where we're at with that.
Now, when I was in the Navy, one thing that I realized, one of the things that helped me get through some of the harder experiences that I had,
Hmm.
um, when I was really feeling rough, I would usually, grab a pad and start drawing,
Yeah,
and that was a huge help for me as an artist to be able to um, kind of throw these emotions that were very much controlling how I felt,
absolutely.
and kind of let them go in that way. Have you? I can imagine that helped you through um, dealing with some of those things that you were just talking about. I can imagine
Yeah.
that must have been really rough.
Yeah, it did help quite a bit. I actually have notebooks that I've never shared with anybody. I never will,
Hmm.
um, because they're super personal.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I would go and I would sketch some of the darker shit that I saw because there was some really sad stuff that I saw.
Right.
Um, but even when I wasn't doing that, I was streaming the whole time, and so that kind of like sense of community helped
Mm.
there. But even getting to do the art and work through the art in that way was super helpful, even if I wasn't necessarily talking about that stuff, you know, on the stream. There was still the art that I could pour energy into.
Right.
Um, which is always great. So,
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely what I found is that that energy isn't going to help you if it's just sitting around. So
oh
you know,
yeah, absolutely.
pour it into something productive, and
Yep,
so
you're totally right. Oh my goodness, I'm so heckin' excited to see you work through this character.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
How's
yeah.
it looking so far?
So
We're
far, it
getting
looks
there.
like they're you've got their shirt going.
Yeah, we're getting there. And the cool part about this program,
Hmm.
I get to color match.
Oh,
So
nice. That's exciting.
come on. Oh, you can do it. Don't you? You. Oh wait, no. Never mind. It's locked. Now I can do this. Doop. There we go. Say again.
Is that a banana? Is that a
Is
banana?
this is a banana? Yes.
Is it for
I will
scale?
now. I will. How about this? The banana. We will go into the banana in the second half of the show, and I will show you what the
Okay.
banana actually does. Because
Okay.
this is actually probably one of the coolest tools in this entire thing. It just looks ridiculous.
The way it's just kind of shaking around, at waist level, I'm just giggling at it because I live in the gutter.
Oh yeah.
In a perpetual state of aversion, I guess, and yeah, it's great.
Oh, you gotta be. I mean, it's important, right?
Yep. How do you think we form around there? I mean, point there, CR. You got a good point.
I can hear CR typing away over there. I can't actually, I can't actually see it, which always
Yeah.
makes me nervous.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh my god, as a kindergarten teacher, I can imagine you get this a lot. When the
Mhm.
kids are quiet, that's when something has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, usually it's where's so and so? What are they doing? Why are they in a corner doing God only knows what,
Right.
whatever. Get your
Yep.
finger
Like,
out of your nose. Stop licking your friend. Don't
no.
lick your friend. God, don't lick your friends, please. I mean, unless they've
Public.
consented to it. And,
That's
you
our
know,
PSA for today: is don't lick your friends, guys, unless they consent.
unless they
Then
consent. Exactly.
then you can lick your friends if you
Yeah.
really really want to.
I mean, I wouldn't. Not with COVID going around. No, fuck that
Hell
nonsense.
no. Yeah,
No.
that's I think we both agree that that is a very bad idea in
Yeah.
today's world. All
Yep.
right, so that's one arm done, and we need to do some fingers. However, since this is a low poly model, do this.
And even if they could lick themselves or lick each other, it wouldn't be a place for that, anyways. You know, adults. I should specify adults can lick each other with proper consent and all that stuff.
Right. Kids should not do that.
Oh my goodness.
I love that we have to clarify this.
I mean, it's okay. We should. It's important.
It is.
I was just actually gonna say the real trick in rendering this character is gonna be if you're able to render Lucy as well.
I am going to do my damnedest. I am really gonna try because I want so badly for Lucy to be a part of this. What I'm thinking is I'm going to try and get him done in the 60 minutes, or them done in the 60 minutes, because you said there's a gender neutral character.
They are non-binary, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to try and get them done during the challenge.
Okay.
To the specifications of the drawing, and then I'm thinking Lucy I'm going to model in when I do the environment for them.
Sweet.
So
sweet.
Yeah.
Because wherever Remy goes, there Lucy shall follow, along with all of her children, wreaking havoc in their wake.
Of course.
Great. Yes.
So
you're doing this with VR?
Mm-hmm. So
these
little things right here, those are my hands. So this is my right hand,
Okay.
my left hand, and then I can select each and every piece. I don't know if you can actually see the little dots here, but I can select every edge, every vertex, every face, and I can adjust it to what I want. So what I'm doing right now is going through and taking the edge of this and then hitting the button that extrudes a new edge. And I fit it to the arm, extrude another edge, fit it to the arm. And that's a good portion of how I model or block together these characters.
Nice.
So I'll do one of those. So now we're going to go ahead and do the head. And that's going to be an interesting one. Okay.
You've got a lot of hair, so,
Right. So that's one of the reasons why I am thinking I'm going to do the head fairly blocky underneath, because a lot of that is going to be covered with hair.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go ahead and do this. Boom, boom. So if you said you want to teach art, and obviously you've been an artist for a very long time. If you had to pick a specific medium that you would say is your medium, what do you think that would end up being?
Watercolor for sure. I would
Watercolor?
definitely, yeah. That's it makes me very, very happy to be able to utilize that, especially like now. I started off actually with like alcohol markers, Copic markers and the like, and good artist friend of mine said, if you want to learn how to do markers well, learn watercolor. And I put the markers down for a little while, and I went to watercolor, and I never went back to markers.
Right.
Just because I liked the versatility I was able to get with watercolors versus the markers. There's nothing wrong with utilizing markers, of course. It was also cheaper. So
I can imagine, yeah.
there was that. It was also a ton cheaper to do, and we artists tend to be a little broke sometimes, and so
more often than we'd probably like to, yeah.
Yeah. So
The
yeah,
starving artist
definitely
is a thing.
it is, and I would like it to not be someday. You know, that would be really really great. Um, but yeah, watercolors are great, and they're fun because you can kind of like mix them up with lots of other things very very easily. Uh,
Right.
for instance, I'm working on a piece right now where I did most of the painting, and then I've gone back over with colored pencil to kind of bring out some areas. And because I've got that sort of underpainting going, it really helps the colored pencil to really pop.
Right.
So, there's just so much versatility to them, and I love it. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
colored pencil was my medium for a really long time. I always loved colored pencil.
I have a love hate thing with them. I can
Really?
never do I can never do like a full piece with them. Just because I say I don't have that kind of patience, but I've been sitting here painting fucking dandelion petals for, days on end, which has just
Right.
been really, affectionately dubbed as dandelion hell. And you know, they're good, but I also like I don't know. I just don't like them for full pieces, but to each their own, you know.
Well, I mean, like one of the main reasons why I used colored pencils was because I could get them for super
Mhm.
super cheap when I
Yeah,
was in the
yeah.
Navy, and they were easy to store. Like I didn't
Oh
have to worry
yeah,
about cleaning up and all of that
point.
stuff because when you're the amount of storage space you get on board is
Pretty tiny, I imagine.
I mean it's a submarine. That's
Yeah,
it's a you're stuck in a sardine can for the most part.
yeah.
So our racks, just to give you an idea, the racks that we have are about 8 inches deep. I want to say between 6 and 8 inches
Oh
deep, and then they're 6 foot, 6.5 feet long by 3.5 feet wide,
no.
and that is the amount of space that you get to store 6 months worth of gear.
Good lord. So you really have to be like choosy with what you have on board,
Oh
and
yeah, you
yeah.
learn to pack light. You learn to
I
pack very
bet.
very light. That's for sure.
I bet.
Um, but yeah, I mean, at the same time, you get to do some kind of cool stuff. So like I've been to the North Pole and
Oh wow.
got to do some neat stuff there. So
To deal
yeah,
with the feeling of like being cramped on that sub there.
how did I deal with it?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a good question. It's one of those things where you're acutely aware for the first week how much water is above you,
God.
which is which is a really odd thing to think about really
uh,
when you think about it. I mean, that is not something that we naturally are going to are going to think,
yeah.
right? So that was kind of strange.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, but aside from that, you learn eventually just to your routine helps a lot.
mhm.
You need to be able to you know to uh, deliver when something goes wrong.
Right.
So,
Dealing with that high stress situation, I'm sure.
oh yeah, yep, pretty much.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said a metal coffin instead of another metal coffin. Yeah, that's a. Mother Turf has actually seen the boat that I worked on. I've taken him down for a tour on it.
Oh wow.
He's a sailor out in Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
know him. I know him through the Navy. But
Nice.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a if you can imagine when we take all of our riders and everybody into account, we'll have about 175 people on board,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
submarines they're not tiny. I mean, they're 365 feet long, 44 feet wide at its widest point, 64 feet from the bottom of the keel to the top of the sail. It's not a
Right.
tiny machine. But when you take into account that 60 feet of that is ballast tanks, then you
Right.
take away half of the remaining, half of everything that remains um, for, sorry, trying to figure out the geometry on this.
You're
You
fine.
take out half of everything that remains for life support systems, take a third of that, and then take a third of what remains and dedicate it to a nuclear reactor. You're talking about less than 1 square foot per person, or less than
Wow.
1 foot of hull per person for 6 months.
Oh man, that would make me kind of crazy, honestly. And more
Well,
power
I mean,
to you for having been able to do it, but damn.
it's like, I mean, that's kind of required. I mean,
Yeah.
all submariners are a little bit nuts. Well, I mean, think about it. We volunteer to get on a ship that intentionally sinks itself. We're all insane,
Yeah, just
right?
the idea of that, I'm just like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, it is.
No.
But I mean, like I said, I got to go to the North Pole. I mean, how many people on Earth can say that they jumped off the back of an active nuclear submarine into the Bahamas
Oh yeah,
to go
absolutely.
swimming? You know, like
All right, exactly.
there's definitely there were benefits to it.
Yeah. So let me ask you then, what was the most fulfilling part of doing that for you?
Oh, that's a really good question. I did not expect that. um,
Throwing it back at you.
yeah. So my family has served this country since its creation,
Hmm.
literally. My great 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 grandfather was a man by the name of Braxton Carter,
Okay.
and he was the 16th person to sign the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, nice.
And since his generation, every single generation of the Roberts family,
Hmm.
which is my mother's side of the family, which is pretty much the only side I know that's a different conversation.
Hmm.
Um, but every generation of the Roberts family since him has had at least one person serve in the military in some form or fashion.
Okay.
So we have fought in every major engagement that the United States has ever engaged in.
Okay.
We have served in every capacity or every service. So, and I didn't know this when I was growing up. My mother, in fact, was very specific that she didn't want me to know that, and she wanted me to make my own choice about going in
Hmm.
because she
Hmm.
didn't want me to feel pressured. But when I made that choice, that was when she revealed all of this to me.
Oh wow.
So it was it's definitely a point of pride that I was able to follow in the footsteps of my ancestors, for lack of a
Hmm.
better word, and
Right.
be able to carry on that tradition. So I think that's one of the reasons why I tend to take public issues somewhat personally. So
Sure.
you
Sure.
know, but that's a road that I would is
Yeah.
probably not best gone down on stream.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
So,
That's fair.
um, but yeah, I think the most rewarding part for me was knowing that I had carried on that tradition.
Yeah.
My
So it's a legacy of your family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my grandfather and great aunt or great uncle were in Ripley's Believe It or Not because of what happened to them in World War II.
Oh, well, okay. Are you able to say what happened?
Uh, sure. Yeah. There's a couple of people who've heard this story, but yeah, I don't mind telling it again. So, it's a little bit long-winded.
Okay.
um, so I was told that I would not have been born without Adolf Hitler and ice cream.
Okay.
Which you can imagine raised some questions.
Of course, immediately my eyebrows are like, huh?
Right.
What? What now?
So my father and my grandfather and my great uncle, McCord and Braxton Roberts,
Mm.
when World War II happened, they were, you know, they were just like every other man of fighting age. They were ready and rearing to go, wanted to go fight. My grandfather decided his logic was, if I'm going to be on the ground getting shot at, I want armor around me, so I want to
Okay.
go be in a tank. Not
Okay.
understanding that tanks were absolute death traps in
Of course. Yeah.
in World War II, especially the Shermans. Um, my great uncle said, "You're crazy, dude. You want to be on the ground getting shot at. I want to be up in the air where it's safe." I didn't say this was good logic, but that was his logic.
Okay. Okay.
But
I mean, I can
he,
see the logic behind that, but what we know of things, it wasn't really, a safer place to be
yeah,
either.
definitely not. No.
Uh,
So yeah, so the way it ended up working was my great uncle refused to go into any other service. He wanted to fly. He wanted to be a pilot.
okay.
And he tried and tried and tried, and the Army Air Corps wouldn't take him. So finally, a recruiter told him, "It's like, look, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but if you absolutely have to be a pilot, go to Canada. They'll
Okay.
take you. They won't make you give up your American citizenship, and they'll make you a pilot." So that's what he did. He went up to Canada and commissioned into the Canadian Air Force, who was providing
Wow.
pilots to the British Royal Air Force.
Okay.
So he was an American citizen commissioned into the Canadian Air Force flying planes for the British.
Oh, wow.
The most roundabout way in the world to become a pilot, but damn it, he was determined and he did it.
Listen, however
Right.
you gotta realize your dreams, man. That's
Exactly.
what you gotta do. If there's a will, there's a way, and he did
Mhm.
it. So that's awesome.
Now the irony of this was that my great uncle was telling my granddad he was nuts for wanting to be on the ground.
Okay.
He thought the air was going to be way safer. My grandfather got through the entire war without a scratch. Great Uncle Brack, on the other hand, got shot down 3 times.
Oh, good night. No.
Yeah. So the first two times he got shot down, he was picked up by friendlies.
Okay.
And the third time, he was actually in France waiting for another plane from the second time he'd been shot down.
Uh-huh.
And he went out on a recon mission with some friends from the RAF, and the plane unfortunately got shot down.
Oh
And when
God.
they found it, um, there were remains on board. Unfortunately, they were unrecognizable, so
Oh man.
he was listed officially as MIA. But I mean, there was no way, nobody could have survived that crash. So,
Right.
yeah.
Wow.
What? Oh, give me just a second. One more
Sure.
time, CR. Oh yeah, that's true. But he's reminding me that I'm not the interviewee.
Oh.
um,
I'm sorry. I do
no,
I,
no,
I
no, no,
do have that habit. I just I start hearing about things and
no. It's okay.
I'm like, tell
I
me more.
Yeah, I don't mind sharing the story.
Oh,
Um,
what else do you want to know about me since it's we've flip-flopped and started interviewing you?
well, let's see. So, what was the inspiration for this character here? Well,
Really, truly, there wasn't one. The okay, so whole thing started with the creation of Lucy. Actually, she was the first character that came up, and she wasn't even anything more than somebody in my stream going, "Hey Beth, draw a possum screaming at its own ass."
hey,
All right,
wait,
all
hey
right.
Beth, draw a possum screaming at its own ass. Is that?
That is
Did I get that right?
essentially yes. That is essentially how that went down.
Okay,
And so
just
I
wanted to make
scribbled
sure.
up this. Yeah, I scribbled up this stupid looking drawing, and we had a good laugh about it. And haha, funny. And she was affectionately dubbed Lucy, short for Lucifer. She had no backstory or anything like that, other than it was just this goof ass drawing. Well, then it turned into, let's make it a coloring contest, and whoever wins gets their drawing turned into an emote for my channel, which is how the Lucy emote came about. And then I ended up, gosh, probably like last September, I was a part of this character design challenge. And that's how initially another character named Duncan came about. And Duncan initially had Lucy hanging about with him on his ship. He was a pirate and everything, and Lucy would constantly scream and bring the monsters on board. And Duncan was always, pissed off about it because, who wouldn't be pissed about their ship getting destroyed by random fucking demons all the time, or just monsters in general. So because at that point we didn't know who Lucy was, and then one day, not so long ago, probably, I don't know, probably back in April, I started drawing this side profile of this random character. They had no name. It was nothing other than just a drawing. And they got a name that day. And my friend Song came along and, kind of, not even kind of, she came up with this amazing backstory about how Lucy is Remiel's familiar, and this is why Lucy is Remiel's familiar, and it just kind of went from there, and
That
uh,
is amazing.
it really, it didn't start with Remy. It started with this damn fucking possum, and really the possum came about because I have a possum stalker on my front porch because I was a dumbass and left a bag of trash out one night, and there was that. So yeah,
That is awesome.
Awesome possum.
Oh, awesome possum, definitely. No, I love the creative process behind how characters come to be, especially ones like what you're like Lucy, where their evolution is very organic. It doesn't feel forced or anything like that. I think those are the most awesome characters.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I can honestly say that probably would not have happened had my friend not come along and said, "Hey Beth, this is the thing." And she's an amazing world builder. I'm gonna talk about her a lot, but she's an amazing world builder. And she came along and she said, "If you ever want to write together, let's write together." And so we did, and it just has been amazing. Writing again, because for a while I wasn't writing. There was a very long epic thing that I had been working on with someone else for a long time, and that kind of fell through, as things happen to sometimes. And so it's just been really, really great to watch these characters, blossom into things when you didn't really intend for them to be anything. We say this all the time, there's constantly characters popping up and you don't think they're anything important, and then next thing you know, they're becoming this sort of found family, adopted brother to so and so, and doing all these great things. I'll never forget, there was a character, case in point, we have a couple of characters. One is named Julian, and the other name is named Corbin. And placeholder joke characters that we just ended up getting attached to. And Corbin came about because we were introducing Song's character, Petal, who is a massive half orc lesbian, to the story, and she's amazing. We love Petal, but we had to have her interact with some of the crew on the ship, and so next thing you know, Song says, "Okay," and we found Petal. with quick, Beth, I need a name. And I look over to my right, and there's my cat. His name is Corbin, and he's an orange cat. And so that's how Corbin became a part of the story, as this redhead, just placeholder character, because we needed to show Petal with this strong dislike for, strong touch aversion. And Corbin's I guess a hugger, and went to go touch Petal, and that was it. Petal was about ready to throw this guy overboard. Well, next thing you know, we say, what if Corbin was actually, also part orc in some way, and they really didn't have this sort of volatile first meeting. It really was this happy thing between the two of them, and Corbin ends up becoming Petal's first friend on the ship, somebody that she could really like talk to and everything, when nobody else would understand. And you'll constantly see Petal and Corbin talking shit to each other,
Right.
or about other people in Orcish, and nobody else can understand them, but they have that sort of like immediate bond like right away. And so once that started happening, we realized, oh god, we got to go back to the beginning and like rewrite their initial meeting. But yeah, that's how that happened with him. And then with Julian, oh gosh, how did Julian come about? We okay, so we do a lot of like our back and forth writing and ideas on TikTok. Weirdly enough, because a lot of the videos kind of like, oh, a certain character would behave this way, or what have you, or this feels like this sort of situation when such and such happened. Uh, it was a TikTok. LOL, it'd be funny if there was a crew member that was like this, and it was this really quirky, like annoying, the annoying guy on the ship.
Right.
Um, and then it just kind of turned into, this guy wants to make everybody smile. And then it turned into, this guy wants to make everybody smile because he's got a really tragic past, and he doesn't want to see that sort of pain in everybody else. So that's why he's so obnoxiously, like he tells stupid jokes all the time. He plays stupid pranks, like just all this stuff. But it's not because he's trying to be annoying. It's just because he doesn't, like, he recognizes the pain in others, and you know, it's just because he just wants people to be happy, because he doesn't want them to hurt like he hurts. And then it just kind of became one of those, oh my god, my heart sort of things, because now we're really attached to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a twin brother. His name is Jack. Jack also has some pain too, and Jack's the quiet protector type. And they just, that's how a lot of our characters have started taking place. Like, oh, there's this character, and oh, it'd be funny if there was this, or I have this vision of this character, you know, doing this and that and the other thing. And it just kind of goes from there. But yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
just really, like you were saying, this really like organic sort of like growth of character development. um
Which
and I
is,
have, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's that process is uh, I talk about it with Gelf every once in a while. We call it the maker high.
Hmm.
It applies to writing as well. There's this feeling, this almost adrenaline rush, of
Hmm.
when a character or a piece of a story that you're writing,
Hmm.
it doesn't, I know it sounds crazy, but it feels like almost you're not quite writing. You're just discovering it.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely.
I absolutely love that. I mean, I'm addicted to that. It's why it's why I love being a maker. Like this kind of thing where I get to watch something come to life in front of me. Oh my god.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's the greatest drug on earth.
it is. It is. Absolutely, it is.
So
Speaking of. Look at this. Look at Remy. Look at how cute they're coming along.
I
That's
think
so
I'm going to be
cool, though.
able to
I'm
do it.
so
What's my?
fascinated by this.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
How am I doing on time, CR? 15 minutes after break. Okay. So I gotta pick this up. I still have hair to do. I've got some buckles and some other stuff that I still gotta finish, and but I think I've got it. I think I've got this down.
CR says
So
you're screwed.
Shut up!
Nice. Thank you, CR. I appreciate the
So
appreciate
much,
the vote of confidence.
so much faith in your friend there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, nope,
Can do
don't
8
wanna.
counts. Oh no, I know the pain of 8 counts. I'm not
Oh,
gonna make him do that.
God. Oh my God! Thank God, somebody who knows what I'm talking about when I say how much I hate 8 counts.
Yeah, they're great. Because I had every intention of also joining the military straight out of high school. So I was in ROTC for all 4 years of that, and
Oh
uh, I
boy.
just I just decided it was not going to be the thing for me,
Mhm.
and went right into teaching. So there was that. But also, I was kind of glad I didn't because I graduated the year of 2001. And I
Oh
would have
wow.
been
Yeah.
done with basic training and off overseas right around September of
Yeah.
that year. And yeah, that's I'm glad that I didn't. And more power to those that could have. That's just not the. I came to realize very very quickly that was not going to be the life for me.
Yeah.
So
And it's not for everybody, and that's
no, it's not.
I think what a lot of people forget is that's okay.
Absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
there's no shame in the military not being for you. Like I've met several people who they're great people,
Yeah,
and they doing something else they would be amazing at it, but the military just isn't their thing.
yeah, yeah. No, and for years, I'd wanted to be in the military because I come from a military family as well. My dad was in the Air Force.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
he retired as a captain. Um, both, let's see, two of my four brothers were military. One still currently. Um, my youngest brother is trying to go to the army, so there's all that. My middle brother is a drill sergeant in the Marines.
Oh boy.
He's a real mean motherfucker.
Does he? Does he have
uh,
that? Does he have the
yeah,
voice?
he can have that voice. He can definitely have that voice.
I've,
Um,
I've
but
dealt with Marine drill instructors before, and it's man, those guys are a different breed. Like
they really are. They really are. Um,
I've never met
and
another human being that could make me feel so insignificant and be so funny at the same time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
absolutely,
it's
absolutely.
craziness. Sharks. What about sharks? Oh, the please, Mr. Shark, don't eat me. Dirty little logs don't taste so good. Oh yeah, that's definitely one of them. Oh my God, I
Now,
I heard that one so often.
if I am unhappy with this thing that you're creating, can I make you do 8 counts?
Yes, you can. As the guest, you have that power, which is good motivation for me because
Gosh.
now I've got a guest who actually knows what 8 counts are. So
Now,
I really gotta make you happy now.
I mean, I could either make you do that, or I could make you do the 10-minute baby shark dance.
Oh no.
But I don't know if I want to torture myself like that because that shit I've been hearing all day at work. So
Right?
You know, that might be more torture for me than it would be for you, honestly.
Right. So I am attempting to get these stripes, and
Oh, nice.
I have no idea if this is going to work properly. But let me get some. We're gonna do one right there too. Okay, no. That one's gonna go over here because this one's gonna wrap under. So the interesting part about Gravity Sketch is that I cannot paint something different colors if it's one object. So the
Okay.
only way that I can get colors like this is to go in and manually create them.
So I've given you a sort of a challenge with these stripy trousers.
Oh God, yes, you have indeed, and I absolutely love it. So I wouldn't change a thing. I can't get enough of challenges. They are absolutely a big part of my life. Especially with low poly stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it, but for some reason, I just find low poly the act of I find the act of having to create something using more impression than detail
Right.
is that's a really interesting challenge for me. So
Yeah, there is a sort of like skill in being able to do that. Because like this I'll be honest, this for me would make me insane, like trying to figure this stuff out. So I'm really fascinated watching like how you're able to like make this come to life.
well,
I'm really
I'm really hurrying now because I know my time is coming up,
yeah,
and
you got a time crunch here, and that hair is
yeah,
really important. That hair is really crucial to who, to
mhm.
Remiel's identity. So,
How much do I got? What's my time on the what's my timer? I only have 12 minutes. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. All right. We gotta get the lead out here. 12 minutes. Especially knowing that you know
no
what.
panic, no rush or anything.
Oh well, it's just especially knowing that you know what 8 counts are. That's a terrifying concept for me. So
I do know what 8 counts are. I don't know if I'm going to be that cruel to you. I don't know. We'll
well,
see.
that I would thoroughly appreciate. However, I am still convinced that I can make this character on time.
Okay.
It is not going to be 100% accurate. However, I do think I can capture the character itself. Do some of this. Say again. You're damn right. I'm trying to avoid doing 8 counts. Ask anybody who's done 8 counts. They'll tell you the same damn thing.
Yeah. My friend brings up a good point. She says that's the point of a punishment, though. It's not supposed to be pleasant. I mean, unless that's your thing, that's your kink, and we don't kink shame here. So all good.
Okay. All right. We're almost done with the stripes.
There's a second layer of color on those stripes, right?
Yes, I do.
I kid. I mean,
I'm gonna say I actually was planning that once I'm done with the hair, which I think I've got a trick up my sleeve that I think will allow me to do the hair a little bit quicker. All right, there's the stripes. Let's go ahead and do the belt. Come here. Boop. Okay. Oh, we go here. So
I'm so intrigued by this.
yeah, once it gets to the speed build part, this is that's when this starts getting frantic, and I got to throw it around a little bit. But like I said, kind of like the pressure. It's a lot of fun. Mm, 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 mm. There we go.
Do you have any more questions for me? Want to know anything
Yeah,
about
definitely.
life,
So
universe, and everything?
yeah, my I did have one more question. I was curious as to what it was that got you into streaming.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so while I was in school
Hmm.
finishing my associates, I had a friend there who said to me, "Hey Beth, I'm about to start a Twitch channel." And I was like, "What's Twitch? I don't know what the fuck that is." And she says to me, "Yeah, um, it's where you can stream playing video games and art and all this other stuff." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And she wanted to start, playing video games and everything, and she asked me to come and drop her a follow to kind of help build her channel. And
Hmm.
I ended up being a moderator in her channel and all that stuff. And then one day she says to me, you should stream your art. And I was like, no, no, I don't want to do that. Much like everything that I never thought I would find myself doing. I'm always initially like, no. And then I started thinking about it and I'm like, maybe I could do it. And that's basically how that happened. I didn't even know Twitch was a thing prior to that. And my first stream was on my cell phone. The mic, the cam, everything, it was propped up on a shelf so that it could view the art adequately. And I thought that was going to be okay for a time until it wasn't. Then I got my first cam and thought that was going to be sufficient for a time until it wasn't. And then I got a mic, and then I got another cam, and then realized my computer wasn't built to handle all of that. So did a whole new build on a computer, and now here we are. But yeah, it basically started with that little idea of, well, yeah, you should try this. That would be good. And for a little while, like it was hard, honestly, like really hard for me the first year, because this was something, again, I never thought I'd be doing. I really wanted to do, and especially like dumping a lot of money into it. You're like, okay, now I really want to make this work.
Right. Yeah. Once you've got
So
that financial investment, I mean, it changes how it
it
feels.
does. It does. It's almost like, well, now you have this sort of like obligation to do it.
Hmm.
Even though my husband said, if there's at any point in time when, you know, you don't want to do this, just say so and we'll go about our day. It's not going to be a big deal.
Right.
But in the back of my head, I was like, oh, we spent all this money on all this equipment. Now I have to do it. So really, like, pushing past that initial discomfort, and
Hmm.
then because look, I'm real self-conscious about how I look, and so it took me for forever to be able to be like, okay, I really want to show my face on stream, but if I show my face, I'm gonna have to show it at a certain angle so nobody knows what I really look
Hmm.
like. It's just stupid, because if you got a camera on your face, they're gonna see what the fuck you look like.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's definitely helped quite a bit with that, like, self-confidence and all this stuff. And this is how I go. You ask me a question and then I go off on this whole fucking tangent here. Um, but no, streaming, it was just literally that. It was just somebody saying, "Hey, you should do this," and kind of gently nudging me into that direction of doing that. And here I am with this channel and this stream fam and all this stuff, and lots of friends, and artwork improving, and all this other stuff. And I honestly, like, because I've been streaming, I've made more art than I think I would have ever made without the stream. Because you feel that sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? That responsibility, I guess. Like, if you have that stream, you're like, okay, I'm going to create art, so I need to make something new. I need to do something. So it's kind of helped propel that in a really great direction. So, oh, look at that! You've got hair.
I do have hair, and I'm trying to make the shaved portion here. What's my time look like, CR? 3 minutes. Oh boy! All right.
Getting closer to those 8 counts there.
Oh no! I still gotta do the gloves. Okay. All right.
Gloves are important. They gotta have the gloves.
Yep, the gloves are important. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and close up this part of the hair. I got the hair. Do the gloves in the bag. All right. And we're gonna do that. Oh.
Their hair is very voluminous. I love that.
Oh yeah. I mean, they take care of themselves, obviously.
They do. They're a dancer. They like to do belly dance, and yeah, that's how they make a lot of their money.
Nice.
So they gotta
boy.
keep in top physical form.
Oh, I'm so close. I'm so close. I'm so close. I can taste it. Okay, I can do this. Gonna do one of those. No.
Oh, I don't know. That's just one glove.
That's one glove, but I can do the other one. I know I can do the other one. All right, but we still gotta finish this one up. Shit. Sorry for the camera angles.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh, I might be covering everything up. Give me just a second. I'll cover it. Fuck!
Go! Hurry!
Okay. I can do this.
I don't know.
There you go.
8 counts sound extreme.
Oh God, no! Oh, it's terrible. Okay, we can do that. There we go. That's one glove. All right, one more glove. Oh no, come here.
It's a good-looking glove.
Thanks. And we're gonna do that like that, and then like this, and then we're gonna close it up like that.
Yeah, 10 does sound like I'm going easy on him.
Oh no!
Yeah. Let's see. 8 times 10. That's 80.
What the hell? That's
20 sounds good.
Oh no. Oh yeah. I may be fucked. I only got 1 minute. Oh shit! I can do it.
You can do it. I have a little bit of faith.
I can do this. I only need one more glove.
This is intense.
No, come on! It's the last, damn it.
25. Oh man.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's.
Hard.
Oh.
Now you got to do Lucy 2 in 5 seconds.
I got so close. Yeah, I gotta say though. Come on.
Sick.
I got that. You know. I still gotta do 8 counts. All right. Let's go ahead and take this off.
I was promised an explanation of the banana. Is that coming up soon?
Oh, that will come up in the second half. Yeah, because I'm gonna build this guy an environment, and we're gonna have some fun with it. Okay, so
you almost got there.
What's this? It sounds like everybody's turning on me. You're all traitors. What's wrong with you?
They just I guess they just want to see you tortured, I guess. I'm not
All
gonna
right.
make you. I don't know. I'm not gonna make you do 10 because I know the pain of the 8 count. So I guess we can go with 5 because I am a
5
merciful
8 counts.
God. I am a merciful God, and
Okay. I think I can do 5.
you
I think I
think?
can do 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Yes.
Oh, Song of Sixpence. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
That's
Oh,
my
yeah.
writing. That's my
I mean-
friend and my writing partner. She's amazing.
Outstanding. Very cool. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and take the headset off of this.
I'm so thrilled to death about this.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, exactly, Karen. I wouldn't make you do anything I wouldn't do.
Are you gonna be my
ahead.
reluctant drill instructor?
No, I'm gonna encourage you. I'm going to encourage you to do your best.
All right, Roger.
Okay. Hey, listen, look at me. Okay, focus. Am I in frame here? I'm not in frame.
Should I be-
Please stand regularly and not add attention. What the fuck are you doing? This isn't. I didn't say Simon Says. Get the fuck back in there. All right, so I'm have to ask you to do the military thing, please. Thank you.
Yeah. 8 counts to get there.
I said please. I could yell. My voice is very booming, but I don't know how that would look through the microphone.
Oh my God, this is bringing back memories. That's one.
I'm only 150 pounds. You're fine, or 160.
That's precious.
I think we need a little bit of speed in here.
Yeah.
Let's go, Yulabari.
A song.
That is, he knows. He knows. That's what my cob used to call me all the time on the boat. Yulabari.
I'm proud of you. You've done
Thank you.
an amazing job.
Thank you so much. That's get the heart going.
Yeah. No, Song, I agree there. I would definitely make him do things that I have no intention of doing. And I have no intention of ever doing an 8 count ever again in my life. So
When I got out of the Navy, I swore to myself I'd never do 8 counts again. So
well, here you
I
are.
feel honored. We're going to resume our little adventure in VR. I'm going to finish this character because I really love the character design, and then we're going to build a little environment for it. So, yeah, let's do that.
Excellent.
Yee. I love this so much. Seriously, if I had discovered this medium when I was a kid, my life would have been very, very different.
It's really cool. This is the first time I'm seeing anything like this, so it's really just fascinating. I'm supposed to actually be working on a commission right now, and I'm so like enthralled by watching how this is all getting built. So
Well, I take that as a huge compliment. Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
It's definitely a relatively new field as far as art is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is one of the things I love about it. It is really new. That means so that opens a lot of opportunities for exploration.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that I love about VR the most is though that you can instantly scale things, and you can step into your piece of art, which is something I've never been able to do before.
So did you do other kinds of art before this then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was an artist while I was in the Navy, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, I did some tattoo design, a couple of things like that, but the primary thing that I worked on as a ship's artist for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
and then I worked for Squadron as their artist for a little while. I actually, if you look up Submarine Squadron 6,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see the seal that I designed for them. It's the shark with the 8-ball as an eyeball.
Let me see this. Submarine Squadron 6.
Mm-hmm. Actually, if you look up Submarine Squadron 6, Christopher
Nice.
Ulibarri, my full name, the news article is in there. They put me in a Navy newspaper.
Oh,
because
sweet.
of it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Said it's the one with the shark.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it. It's very angry.
The whole reason why that shark is in there,
Huh?
that was a requirement. The Commodore said that they would not replace it unless they found something that was worthy of replacing the person who had done it before.
Oh,
I
nice.
didn't realize who that was, and I ended up finding out it was Walt Disney.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so I got to do basically the replacement design for Walt Disney's battle flag design for World War II.
Nice.
Yeah, not something I expected. For damn sure.
I don't have any fun claims like that.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I kind of fell into that. That really was an opportunity that just kind of fell in my lap. My
Mhm.
Cobb, the chief of the boat, apparently was saying good things about me to the squadron heads, so that was nice.
Nice. It's always nice to get like talked up like that.
Right. So, again, as an artist, is there any mediums that you've never worked in that you would like to?
Oh shit. No, I don't know. There probably has been. Oh, you know what? Resin. Resin is one that I have never touched, and I really want to. Um, I haven't because it's expensive as fuck. So
True.
I haven't done it yet. Because I have a feeling that with me, there's going to be like a lot of like trust. Pardon me, my color is going everywhere. There's going to be a lot of trial and error, and I really don't want to like start something like that, knowing that I'm going to fuck up a lot.
Right.
So eventually I will. I was thinking about, going and picking up a few things because, there's these really like beautiful like things that I see like people making, and I'm like, dang, I want to make all these things. And I just need to do it. Really, I just need to like knuckle down and just fucking do it because, it's not gonna happen unless I do. So there's that.
I absolutely love working in resin. I got my first opportunity to do it with my actually the costume that's sitting right over there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was my Cadian Guard costume, and I decided I was going to. Let's see, can we get it? Get it? There we go. I wanted to see if it was possible to cast his emblems and everything in resin. So we got all the stuff for it, and it was an interesting experiment, that's for sure.
I bet. I would love to make like one of the things I would really like to do is make like D&D dice. Even though I don't play D&D, I probably will at some point to be fair. But I don't play, but I love the dice, and I have a lot of sets of D&D dice that I've never ever used for D&D. I just have them because they're pretty. Because I'm a goblin and I hoard little things, shiny things like that. So but yeah, I would love to make like some really pretty like D&D dice, or even like, because I used to like do woodworking, and I would love to like combine the resin and the woodwork, because the two really lend themselves well to one another from what I've seen. And it makes a lot of sense too. Like you can turn resin like you can turn wood. So
Yeah.
that's really fascinating to me. I really want to do it. I really miss turning things on a lathe. So, yeah, or goblin dragon. Yeah, a little goblin dragon because I keep stashes of shiny things all over the place. Yeah, rocks, crystals, you name it. That shit's all over the place. Where
Nothing wrong with that. You got to have your hoard, right?
I do.
I
It's
mean,
yeah,
I've definitely got
definitely.
mine. I think every maker should have their own hoard. You know,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
it's like your treasure hoard, right? It's like Smaug.
Hmm.
You know, you got to sleep on it.
Yeah, but if I slept on my art supplies, it would honestly that would be kind of painful because there's lots of pokey things over here, or all the rocks and crystals I accumulate. That would actually like
Well,
I am not. It's not scaled like a
isn't that
dragon.
just like growing pains though? Like you're supposed to,
No,
right? I mean,
no,
it's like, isn't that the acceptable stuff? I mean, that was
no.
why we were here.
I don't want a 10-pound geode in my back. Thank you.
Oh my god, ouch.
No.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah, an actual rock in my back. No, no, I'm good. I'm good. I am but a squishy human being, and that would not go well. So super squashy.
Oh man, I'm kind of curious. I only got a front view of this.
Okay.
So this pouch right here, is this a holster?
I think it's just a pouch. Honestly, it's where they keep their, magical things and all that jazz. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just a sort of like a pouch that kind of comes around, clips around the waist, and hangs there for whatever they might need.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So I wanted to make sure I had it.
It's for their fantasy wallets. Fantasy characters got to put their fantasy wallets somewhere.
Exactly. It's like that's where they stuff the coin purse.
Yeah, exactly. Remy is constantly carrying a lot of coin around, so they gotta have something.
Mm,
They have to pay their half orc bodyguard somehow, and they got to keep that money with them somewhere. So
right. All right. So there we go. I think it's about good. We got our pouch here,
it works.
and then we've got the buttons. Oh, we need the since we're fixing this now. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little bit more attention here. So, what kind of environment do we need to put in that to put this character
Well, they're in a solar punk fantasy setting, so um, they're mostly seen on a ship.
in? Okay.
It's a which hasn't been drawn yet. So let me see if I can describe this accurately. It is a very large trimaran sailing ship with large violet sails that are made of like something I've called hex weave, which is just basically all the solar array type stuff on the sails. Um, but yeah, if you want to put them on a ship type of setting, if you can, that would be great.
Well,
Uh,
let's see, because you said it's a trimaran, and
hmm
the sails are purple.
hmm
Okay.
Well, I mean, violet in nature, you can really do whatever.
All right. You know what? So I think this is a fairly good represent. Oh, we have one more thing that I need to put on here if it's going to be complete,
Yeah,
and that is the
screaming,
suspenders.
screaming demon possum.
And then the screaming demon possum is definitely that's going to happen. This is definitely required.
It is because she is soul bound to Remy.
Oh no,
Unfortunately for them.
she will definitely be here. So I'm thinking, let me go ahead and do the suspenders will kind of disappear up into the hair. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go ahead and try building this trimaran. I have no idea if I'll be able to do it in the amount of time, but we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna do this.
Or you could put them in a tavern type of setting, because they would be found in there practicing their craft, and doing the dance. So there's also that.
Well, I think I can actually do it. So we've got our character. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go to our settings, turn on mirror. So where is the mirror? Oh, it's right there. All right, so what color is the ship? Is it wood? Or is it made of metal?
Combo of both. Look,
Okay.
you're making me think about things I haven't quite thought through yet.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right, well, in that case, we will do... Yeah? I don't mind doing... I don't mind running a little bit late. Well, I mean, we can go as long as we can, and if she's not wanting to... Yeah.
I think like the aesthetic of like Treasure Planet, if you've ever seen that movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Makes me so happy.
Yeah.
So, what I'm thinking, let's go ahead and do our wood texture here. Sorry about that. I have a tendency to get lost in the
Oh, you're fine.
lost in the process.
You're fine. Totally fine.
So, what's the project that you've been working on most recently?
This one. Well, okay. So this writing project, this song and I have been working on, has been taking up a lot of the time. But really, what I should be working on right now is commissions, because I have a stack I've got to get through before school starts.
Right.
So currently, my current project that's right on the table in front of me is a like a tattoo design commission.
Oh, cool.
It's a sun bear that is kind of wreathed in dandelions, and he's wearing a crown. It's a very sentimental piece to the client, and it's been a bitch and a half to get done because dandelions.
Right.
So, but a lot of what I'll do now, like I've actually made things a lot easier on myself since I've made the transition into digital work.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go through and I'll sketch out a piece and do line work and everything digitally. And now that I have a large format printer, I'm able to just print out the line work straight onto my watercolor paper, and it makes that so much easier. It's a huge time saver in doing that. But my goal is, once I get through, all of this, like these commissions and everything, and Song and I write like all the time, like every Saturday we have, a set aside time to sit down and write and everything.
That's cool.
But I really, really, really really want to make this, a thing that people get to read and see, and we're super happy with it and super invested with it. That's the project that I really want. You know, you have the things that you have to do and the things that you really want to do, and you kind of have to get through the have to things before you can get to the want to things.
Right.
So once this is done, though, this tattoo piece, I'm going to jump back into a little bit more character design, because there's quite a few characters now that still need faces to the names. So yeah, that's where we're at there.
That's awesome. Yeah, the coming up with an actual aesthetic for a character is one of the more interesting, in my experience, one of the more how do I say this, hair tearing experiences.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. You know, sometimes it's character design sometimes comes to you real easy, and sometimes not. Like sometimes all you have is a name, or you know, like in Duncan's case, who I briefly mentioned in the creation of Remy, or was it Remy or the possum? No, it was Remy. Anyways, Duncan. Initially, I drew him last September, and he's not, like, now, as Song and I have been writing, like, he's now not what I initially envisioned him to be, if that makes any sense at all.
No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
So it's been initially, like, I saw this cosplayer on TikTok of all places. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Duncan right there. And the more I started noodling with that face cast, I was like, oh, that's not Duncan. That's someone else on the ship or somewhere in the story, but that's not Duncan.
Mhm.
I did another sketch of Duncan, or who I thought was Duncan. And it's closer to where I want him to be in design, but still not quite there. There's still thing amiss with that, and
Right.
his design is really pissing me off, because I'm like, okay, I know certain things about your features, and I know, you know, your kind of attitude that you have, but your face is giving me a problem, and I'm mad about it.
Right.
Just
Those
show
are
me your face so we can be done with this, because I got other characters to draw.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I do not want to do that. No. Okay.
Oh.
I did want to do that. Never mind. Yay. So I am trying to build this ship. What do you think so far?
Shifted over a little bit, because you kind of got off.
Oh, wow. I can't believe I walked off the screen that far.
No, you're fine.
So this is what I've got so far. Though I'm thinking these guys are going to be a little bit bigger and further out this way.
It is a massive ship, but I understand if you can't, you know, fit a very massive ship into all that.
Well, here's the awesome part about VR. I can't.
Super.
So if this is a massive ship, I am all kinds of down for making it into a massive ship. That's one of the, like I said, that's one of my favorite parts about VR, is that you can scale things up and to a huge degree.
Yeah.
And it gives you a lot of creative freedom.
Yeah, that's really cool, actually.
So, all right, where are you guys? There we go. I'll get rid of those. And 2 little metal bars that are sticking inside. So
Yes, Faye, we love big ships, and we cannot lie.
Oop. There we go. Got both of them. There we go. I keep backing up. Why? Here, let's do this. Let's we'll put it a little bit closer. All right, so we've got Trimaran. Let's go ahead and turn off mirroring. Where's it? There it is. Looking right at it. Now, no. Wait, no. I don't want this to be mirrored. There we go. All right. Figured it out.
Super. This flashlight thing here, is that just your light source, I guess then?
Yeah, so if I want to see it from a different angle or see how the light affects it from different ways, I can grab it and move it around.
Mm-hmm.
So that offers a lot of flexibility. So let's line her up like this. And we'll turn the mirror back on. And we'll do some sales.
Nice.
So what subjects do you like to draw? Are you more of like wildlife or
I like a lot of just fantasy art in general. So creatures and people of a fantastical nature. Really, I would love to be able to be more comfortable with drawing things like ships and backgrounds and stuff, because
Mhm.
I would love to see like a lot of art in this book. So that's going to be kind of an important sort of thing to learn. But yeah, I started off like drawing animals like back when I was learning to draw. I think a horse was like one of the first things I learned how to draw, and then it just kind of went from there. But I love to draw like dragons and winged things, and wing scales, feathers, and tails is kind of my shtick. So there's
wings,
that.
scales, feathers, and tails? That is
Yeah.
That's an awesome saying. I like that.
Yeah. So I mean that pretty much everything in between. So um, really enjoy like humanoid figures, I think, the most, because there's so much like complexity to the human body, and I'm still learning to improve that skill. And recently I've kind of delved into, now we're combining two or more bodies, and how do those things interact with one another, and
Right.
how can we make these bodies a fantastical sort of thing as well. So elves and orcs and everything in between. I love the orcs here a lot.
Right. Wait a second. Where'd Remy go?
I don't know. Where did Remy
Uh-oh.
go?
Remy got lost. Where are you?
Remy
there you
got
are.
transported to the Nine Hells. Oh shit!
I found him. All right, let's go ahead and group you together so I don't pull you apart. This is Remy right here. Little itty bitty tiny guy.
Oh no!
You said he was a big. You said it was a big ship.
It's a big ship. It's big enough to have a crew of. Oh shit! How big is the crew? 24.
Oh, 24. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not
24.
Let's see.
It's big, and it's
Right.
got lots of stuff on it. So itsy bitsy, itty bitty Remy.
Something like that. Oh, nope. Something like that. Now, this ship obviously would not be complete. Wait a second.
Did I tell you the ship's name? The ship's name is the Night's Fall.
The Night's Fall.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But,
I really, really like that. That's cool.
thank you. Yeah, I'm very, very, very happy with. I think both Song and I are very, very happy with it, and every time we talk about it, people are like, when can we read this story? When can we read this story? And so that's really encouraging to hear that people want.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I mean that always makes you feel good,
It does.
to know that it's appreciated,
Yeah, absolutely.
So especially with a novel. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not an easy thing. I've attempted to
No.
write a novel before. Um, it wasn't a super success.
Well, I mean, but you made the attempt, and that's what's important. Um, I briefly mentioned I had another writing project that I worked on for several years with
Mm,
someone else, and we had several novels over um, written uh,
mm.
in upwards of around like millions of words. Like this is
Wow.
how extensive this world was. Um, and we, like I said, as things tend to happen, they don't work out sometimes. It didn't work out, and that's fine. Um, but yeah, Song has a good point. Like I she says, honestly, I wouldn't gotten this far on my own, so having a buddy helps, and it definitely does help immensely having that writing partner, friend that you can bounce those ideas off of,
Hmm.
and have that sort of like help whenever you are kind of lacking, like, oh, hey, I forgot such and such word, or I need a word that means this. It doesn't sound so stupid or simple
Right.
or whatever, and it's really been a really great uh, like experience
Hmm.
having a friend that's also super passionate about this thing. And holy heck, those sales, what
What do you
those look
think?
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're great.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I was thinking about doing was doing this. Well, yeah.
So heckin' cool.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, there is obviously one more thing that I have to do before we get done with this.
Okay.
This is absolutely necessary. Um, First, we're going to turn off the mirroring on that. I'm going to rotate this. Yeah. Separate all this. Nope. Separate it. Delete you guys. Nope. You. Nope. So what we're doing now is I'm just finishing up the ship, and then obviously this is not complete without Lucy
Of course not.
by his side. So we're going to go ahead and do, yeah, all right. And oh no, that's like shiny metallic black. I don't want shiny metallic black. I want regular, like that. Yeah, that's what I want. That's still shiny and metallic. All right, I will paint it in a minute. So we're gonna go ahead and go boop, 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 and then boop.
Did you ever think you would be designing a screeching demon possum in all of your art
Never in a million years.
space?
Never would have expected that. That was this is certainly a first
Of
for me.
course, yeah.
Um, I'm absolutely honored. I'll tell you, this show has been kind of awesome because it really has been a show of firsts. Like
Yeah.
every time, we get the greatest guests in the world on this show, and every single time they always come up with a really interesting challenge for me. So, and this has been a really unique one.
I'm honored to provide you with such a challenge then.
Oh, of course, I love it. So this is gonna be. She's gonna be like metallic at first, but we'll
I
we'll
mean,
fix
she
that.
she is otherworldly, so if she were metallic,
Good point. All right, so
make us the mother of demons. Exactly.
the mother of demons.
She is. She's the mother of all demons. She's the devil's mother.
That was absolutely when you said that about her, I was like, oh
Uh,
my god, this story is genius. Like,
that right there, that was all song. That was all her doing. She's an amazing world builder. I could literally tell her, "Hey, I have this idea for such and such," and she will just take off with the idea and just turn it into something fabulous in like a matter of minutes. So it's pretty amazing.
I just realized that we've got mirroring on, and I don't want mirroring on. There we go. Way better.
That do.
Hmm?
So what does that do? Having the mirroring on.
Oh, mirroring. It basically everything that I do on one side of the camera happens on the other side as well, which can be fine. But when you're trying to do a rodent that happens to be the mother of all demons, you kind of want to minimize the number of these that you actually create.
Gotcha.
That would be. It's just just out of self-preservation. That's.
I think she would be so offended to be referred to as a rodent.
Well, I mean,
Foolish, foolish mortal.
foolish mortal.
No, not
Don't
of
like
whom
me,
you
then
speak.
perish.
Let me just call forth one of my children, okay?
Oh,
Thanks, because I
good
can't do
lord.
anything in this body. Yeah.
All right, so now we got to do some little pause here.
Really great thing about her is that before anybody on the ship really realizes what she is, they keep like giving her the yeet overboard, and
Right?
she keeps coming back, and
Oh, God.
nobody really knows like what the fuck is this thing. So yeah, she'll just unexpectedly she'll show up, like for instance when port authority shows up to inspect your ship, and you don't really want them showing up to inspect your ship because you've got illegal cargo in your ship, and they come down below and you think everything's all well and good until you find out that Lucy has opened up everything and destroyed everything, and now you're in big fucking trouble. So there's that.
That is, I absolutely love the character of Lucy. She
Thank
just
you.
makes me so happy. Like, like I've always
Yeah.
been a big fan of kind of ridiculous animal companions.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that show Beastmaster? I can't remember who it was. The guy looked like
years and years ago.
Dolph Lundgren. The guy who played him. But I remember he had these two ferrets.
Okay,
And
all right.
they were the coolest damn characters in the show. Like, I absolutely loved those ferrets. I loved watching the ferrets a hell of a lot more than I liked watching him. I mean, even at 13 years old, I was like, this acting is atrocious.
Oh man.
It was bad. Like, we're talking like right next to Xena the Warrior Princess and
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 Hercules.
Hercules. Yeah, that was. It's about where we were at that point.
Spectacular level of camp and cheese, honestly.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
So well
well, that was what kind of inspired me. So every time I play a character in D&D,
done.
I always have a animal companion with me.
Okay.
And they always like I'll role play them a lot more than I usually role play my own character.
Nice.
So they're, I've had ferrets before that would go out and go, get in trouble, or they'd go up and invest. Like if we got a new party member, they would go investigate them, and
Ah.
if they trusted them, then they would start playing, and if they didn't, well, they might get a little bite.
A little bite.
Just a little bite,
A little love tap.
Yeah, just a little bite,
Yeah. Works for me.
Oh yeah, the camera is directly up Lucy's butt right now, actually.
Super. She
Yeah,
would
that
love
was-
that.
Now, so I've said this before, I will say it many times again. You cannot do VR modeling without getting very up close and very personal with a whole lot of digital butts. That's
That
just
makes a
gonna
lot
happen,
of sense. That makes sense.
You're going to be diving into some into some places. So, just to get some details done.
Some
So,
places unseen by the light of day.
yeah, and rightfully so, understandably.
Banana
Okay.
for scale, yes.
Banana for sale.
For scale.
Oh, banana for scale.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about dimensions last night, I think. I remember Reaver Redcap was rather scared by them.
Oh, how so?
Well, we were talking about the night stick, and they decided to take that in a very different direction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the night stick, about 3 feet long, 2 inches wide, 4 inches thick,
I mean, that's
made of wood.
oh, is it made of wood? That's
Yeah,
what
it's
it's made of.
Yeah, it's meant to send you to night, right?
I mean, I know things like that could send me night, but they're not made of wood.
Right?
I mean, it's a wood of a different sort, I guess.
I mean,
It is not after 8 yet. Oh my goodness. It's exactly song. It's all in how you use it. Yeah. Are we hitting people over the head with this or something else? I mean, whatever your preference.
I mean, whatever floats your boat. You're the one who said it's like we don't kink shame around here.
We don't, unless
if
it's
you're
like
into that,
unless it's a Jar Jar Binks kink, and then we will definitely shame you.
yes, there is absolutely no defense or excuse for a Jar Jar Binks kink.
Only
Period.
being shame. Only being
That-
shaming.
Binks shaming is totally on the books.
Totally valid. Yes.
I am all right with that. All right, so we've got one little tiny foot. We're gonna go 2 little tiny foots, and then 3 little tiny foots, and then 4 little tiny foots.
You got some cursed content going on in your chat now. I'm really ashamed of myself for even bringing that up.
I got some what?
Cursed content. Misa Daddy
Oh.
Jar Jar. Oh no. She got to
No. Who said
No.
Misa Jar Jar? I was about to say it's like fired. Get out.
Yeah. Oh
Jar
man,
Jar.
it's so bad. So in my stream community and in a few other stream communities, I'm known as the resident scientist. For very unfortunate reasons. My Google history hates me a whole lot. Oh, that doesn't exist. Let me go and check. Oh yeah, that exists. So this is how I discovered that there is not. I mean, generally, if you're looking up things of asexual nature, pornographic content or what have you, you will find some pretty well drawn stuff, and I'm often very impressed by some of the art that I come across. I discovered while looking up things for Jar Jar Binks that there is not any well drawn Jar Jar Binks smut. There's just not, and it's horrifying. So there's that.
That really that's terrifying.
Yeah, there's just
The fact
not.
that there's Jar Jar Binks smut in the first place is kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Like,
Rule 34 is a thing. It's a thing for everything. Yeah. That's how we discovered Pokemon porn. Well, I mean, I knew Pokemon porn existed, but the term "lewd to" was brought to my attention when I went digging for that one.
yeah, that's not a rabbit hole anybody should be going down.
Listen, I have been down many rabbit holes, and not in the pervy sort of way that some of you might be thinking. But just, yeah, so bad. I gotta clear my history, honestly, because if I were to die tomorrow and somebody were to get a hold of it, they'd be like, "What the fuck is this woman looking at? Like, what is her problem?" I'm just trying to science things so other people don't have to. It's my calling in life.
Right.
Yeah, I there was this one's really terrible. We discovered that there was a kink for allowing snails to crawl all over you.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah, there was that one. Look, I could tell you some
Different kind
things.
of- nope.
I have zero filter when it comes to this sort of thing because the line of work that I've been in.
Mhm.
So there's just it's just like I'll be like, oh, okay, let me go look this up. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh my God, what rabbit hole have I fallen down into
Right.
today? So there's that. Um,
Oh, I got the sail in the way again.
let's see it.
All right. That.
Oh, it's so freaking cool. God, she's so giant in relation to the ship at this point, and that kind of cracks me up, though.
Should we leave her like that? I mean,
Oh.
I could totally put the ship in her mouth.
Oh, no, I mean, do whatever you want. You're the artist. I just think it's hilarious, like the idea of her being so gigantic. Because walking through the Nine Hills, she is that large.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh.
but yeah, that's just hilarious to me. Look at her
Yes.
little gross little tail. I love it so much. Oh, great. Would you like to hear my
Alright.
terrible possum story? The first time I had an encounter with a possum on my front door.
I would absolutely love to hear this story.
Okay, so like I said, I was very dumb and I left a bag of trash on my front doorstep one night with the intention of just taking it out to the dumpster in the morning. And of course, go out the next day, it's all tore up because some animal has gotten into it. But anyways, I get off of work that night. I was on a really long shift. I was late getting off, and I come up to my apartment, and I look upstairs, and there's this fucking possum up there, and I'm like, oh fuck no, we can't be having this shit. I just want to go inside and get my shower and go to bed. I've had a long ass day, a long day. So I shake my keys at it and it starts hissing at me. And of course, I'm terrified, right? Because, well,
Understandably.
this thing's got the upper hand. Like it's up there and I'm down here. So if it chooses to like leap, for instance, which I didn't know they would do until the next night.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
terrifying thing to learn, like in the moment.
in the moment. So I'm shaking my keys thinking, oh, loud noise. It's just going to, skedaddle down the stairs and be on its way. No, it hungered down. And it was like, no, I'm staying right here. And I'm like, fuck. So after like an hour, finally, like my husband was at work, so there's nothing, nothing I could do about it. Finally, a neighbor walks by and I said, excuse me, can you help me with this? I've got a possum upstairs and it won't go away from my front door. And I've got a cat, so the last thing I want, aside from it like leaping at my face, is for my cat to see this thing and come running out the door, and I've got a possum cat fight on my hands,
Which would suck.
which would suck because my cat, I open the front door and he comes outside sometimes to greet me as I come in. So this neighbor runs inside his apartment. He gets a broom and he like he herds the possum downstairs as I'm like trying to like shuffle upstairs and make sure that I'm not going to get attacked by this thing. So I thought this was all done with, and possum's gone, right? This motherfucker is back the next night.
Mhm.
And I go upstairs. I'm like, I'd just gotten through talking to my friend James, who's like an animal control officer, and he says, look, they're just honestly, they'll hiss at you, but they're great big babies. And they're big scaredy cats, so all you got to do is like shake something at her, just basically just step over it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no, I'm not doing that. So anyways, excuse me. The next night, this motherfucker's back, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to put my brave shoes on, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm terrified. I'm tired. I wanna go inside, and I'm shaking my keys, and this thing's getting closer and closer to my door. And at this point, like I'm recording it because this is so comical, and I just can't believe that this is happening again. And go on, and I'm trying to like shoo it past me so it can run down the stairs, right?
Right.
And I can see the wheels in this thing's head turning, right? It's looking at me and it's looking at the ground. It's looking at me and it's looking at the ground. And you can tell that this thing is thinking about taking a flying leap off the balcony. And I'm like, no, dumbass, run past me. Run
Right.
past me and go down the stairs, up the way down the way you came.
Mhm.
No, the closer I got, the more you could see like it's like ooching over the side, and then all of the sudden it yeets itself over the balcony. Over the balcony, it takes a flying leap onto the ground, onto the rocks below, and I assume it was okay because it did skitter off, but it landed with such a thump that I could have sworn that this thing was like going to be injured, and I was going to have to be calling animal control because I didn't want it to like hurt itself. Um, but yeah, it freaking flew off the balcony, and that's when I learned that possums are really fucking dumb. They're
Yeah.
really dumb. I'm
They
like,
certainly can be.
you had enough space to like run in front of me, not even like come near me and go down the stairs, but you chose to fly. Like, how smart how smart are we?
Right.
So yeah, that's how the idea of me having a possum familiar came about, which is when somebody in that stream said, draw a possum screaming at its own ass.
Nice.
And that's how the idea of Lucy was born. So
Very
there's
cool.
that.
Well, I did promise you that I was going to show you the function of the banana.
Yes, please.
So this is my favorite part about VR. This screen now, this creation, is now 1-to-1 scale.
Okay.
So I'm about as tall as he is. And if you have the banana, it lets you move around.
Nice.
So if I create an environment, this allows me to walk around that environment.
Oh,
So
cool.
if I was to create an entire forest or a castle or In one case, I did another airship, kind of like this one. I can actually blow it up, see what it would look like in real-time proportions, and actually walk around it and see if everything's right. It's one of the reasons why Ford uses this in their design program, because they can blow up a car that they're designing and actually sit inside it in a virtual
That's
world.
so cool.
Yeah. So, all right. I think
Fabulous.
I think that's about it.
I feel bad for making you do those 8 counts now because it looks really heckin' good.
Hey, no worries. No worries.
You make her do 8 counts.
I should make you do 8 counts. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. My busted knee would not let me do that sort of thing.
So, all right. In that case, I think I am going to go ahead and pull this off. Oh.
It looks so good. Did an amazing job, honestly. The ship looks beautiful.
Thank you so much. I love doing low poly stuff. I've really got to start getting into doing some more high poly stuff because I love doing that as well. But that's not an hour challenge. If I'm doing high poly, yeah, it's a little bit higher, but yeah. So I think we're yeah.
It's brutal.
It's
brutal.
Dude, Vice Burn is a thing, man. So yeah. Thank you so much for for joining us on as our guest today.
Well, thank you for having me. I've had a blast chatting with y'all.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah, sorry, I guess I can't hear it.
We love you guys. How about this?
Go.
Here we go. So yeah, no, we love having you, and you are always welcome back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, CR, do you wanna take us out here?
Hi. It's me again. Bet you didn't expect me, or did you?
I did.
Also, sorry, I'm probably talking over you, Dragon. I can't actually hear you. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, all the links are going to be down below. They're also down below the stream as well. Find us on Indie Supply Co. on Twitter, Instagram, or just look up Nexus Dungeoneering. We're actually 13 followers away from hitting affiliate.
Yes.
And people are itching to fucking throw their bits at us, so spread it around.
Follow.
Yeah, this is a huge project, and it's growing every day. We actually have huge plans for some renovations.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we have a lot of secret stuff that we're also working on. So stay in touch with us and all that jazz. And follow DayDragon. I'm gonna sit down in a second while Az closes, and I'll post all of our links. And she was actually live this entire time, creating some art. She's been creating. We haven't decided. Is it a fucking like prairie dog or something?
No, it's a sun bear. It's a sun bear.
It was an otter.
It's okay. It's got dandelions that took like 30 hours to make.
It's just a human badly cosplaying as a bear. That's
It's
all.
a human badly cosplaying as a bear.
I like that one.
Yeah.
But, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Here you go. Bye.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
So thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. It means everything. It means the world to us. We will be back tomorrow night with another episode of the Everyday Dungeoneer with Sal. Say again.
The dark cloak.
The Dark Cloak. Yes, he's going to be joining us. Super excited for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, tomorrow 5 to 7 Central. Come hang out. But until then, make sure you guys are staying safe out there. The world's kind of a crazy place, so we're thinking about you. Stay safe, stay crafty, and as always, stay creative. See you guys later.
Hi, Dungeoneers. It's your lovely director, CR. How's it going? You probably weren't expecting to see me, now were you? No. But I'm here. The hand? You know the hand. It's me. That's right. Look in the description. Get those links, right? Get that stuff going. Okay? Good?